Welcome to Rad on Wrestling, episode 4. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I just moved into the new place, as you guys know, last week. So things are like everywhere still. Like there's still boxes everywhere. We're still unpacking things and getting settled. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm just enjoying our own space. So I like don't want to leave the house or do anything like ever. I just want to sit at home now.
I like that. Real quick, are you saving all your boxes?
No, why?
I was thinking because I have gotten a report that AEW is looking for more cardboard boxes in case anybody falls off of a cage.
Oh,
Do the top of your boxes look like they're steel grates?
Oh yeah, They're
Okay.
yeah.
Because
No one's been through them, so
So obviously that was the biggest thing to happen for this week. Great match, blood and guts, war games, whatever you want to call it, because they were definitely they were just basically saying this is war games. It was started in 87. And so what'd you guys think of the match?
overall I loved it. I like that everyone like had like certain spots, like certain little like rivalries within each faction. I thought that was cool. It's kind of like seeing like I like that each person had like a one-on-one match, so to speak, and then it turned to tag team, and it just got chaotic and out of control, and it was amazing. It just the ending was a little like
Soft.
it was just kind of cheesy. I don't know if that's the right word I want to use.
Go ahead, Derek.
I mean, honestly, had they just panned away from the fall or not kept saying that it's concrete, it would have been fine. But no, they done goofed.
Yeah, I loved the match. I thought this is one of the few times where AEW had blood flowing where I was like, this is good. This is the type of match that is understandable. The end that this is the ending kind of shows where WWE knows how to do things, where it's like, I mean, because don't get me wrong, WWE has done a handful of things of showing where you could tell like, oh, well, this is definitely cushioned for this person. But in recent years, they've done a really good job of like having people go through the announce table, and somehow these guys going very far off of an down to an announce table and still being okay and making it look like that one. All I kept thinking was, first off, I was getting Rikishi flashbacks.
Yeah.
When he was going, and then when the landing hit, I was like, oh, Rikishi landed so much harder.
Oh yeah.
And less and the worst part about it, which I don't know if you guys picked up on, was when Chris Jericho was looking with his he panned over, like his eyes were open, or even one eye. It was just one eye, and he's looking to see like, or people, like to come to him, and all of a sudden the camera gets to him, and then he closes his eyes like he's passed out. And I watched that over and over again because I was like, that was such a bad camera angle on top of the already bad camera angle. It was, I mean, I feel like it's definitely something that's it won't happen again. Like, and they're a new company. It was the first time that they've done the match. So granted, it is what it is.
Yeah.
People won't really, I feel like people aren't going to remember it. It's going to be similar to their giant explosion, which I thought was going to be more talked about, but they do a good job of bouncing back.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's definitely going to be, I mean, I'm just curious of where they're going to go forward with it. Like
Actually.
Yeah. It's,
yeah, I mean, AEW has kind of been really lucky. Like, it's like something happens that you're just like, ugh. And then by the next episode, they just either they'll make fun of it themselves or they just move right past it. Like, even going back to like when Dark Order, when they had the guy miss the punches on Dustin.
Oh yeah.
you know, they had the quick skit in Being the Elite that the Exalted One was going to get rid of him, and no one never said anything about it again.
That's very true. I agree. I think that is they do a very good job of their bounce back.
That's true. Very true. Also, just a quick sidebar. I don't know if it would be the cameraman's fault, but like, did you guys see during the match that like obviously Chris Jericho was pulling the blade out of his wristband, like when he was on top of the cage to blade himself so he can start bleeding?
I did not catch that.
If you guys watch it, you see Chris Jericho literally pulling it out. I'm like, oh, he's about to blade. I was like, oh, I thought he was gonna use a blood pack because I don't know how much. I just wasn't sure how much wrestlers still relied on blading, because of like past history and things of that nature. So, but you see Chris Jericho actually pulling it out, and then he has it in his hand, and of course MJF hits him in the head, and he goes down, and then all of a sudden he's bleeding. And I was like, I watched you do that, Jericho. I was like, I don't know if the cameraman should have been like facing him or whatever. I was like, I don't know if that was the cameraman's fault, if Chris Jericho just wasn't sly enough. I was like, but I watched him do it like during the match.
Well, I mean, on the plus side, at least he won't get in trouble like he did in WWE when he faced Batista in a steel cage in 2008. Batista got fined $100,000, which ultimately led to him leaving the company.
Wow, for blading?
Yep, blading in a cage match on Raw.
Dang. The other thing I noticed too that I mean, I've seen it before, but it was brought back to my attention is the fact that they still have no problem of taking chair shots to the head.
Yeah.
And when like I forgot who took the chair shot in that match, but I remember thinking like, oh, like it because that will never, to me, I can after seeing how many head injuries and stuff, I will always cringe no matter what. A person could do a 450 Canadian destroyer, and I will still be more like, oh my god, to somebody, even if they have their hands up, and it's because that's just so dangerous that
it's definitely a spot that's just not really needed anymore. Like,
yeah,
there's plenty of other things.
I did like the Spanish Fly that I believe Sammy gave to Spears.
Yeah,
That
off
was
the ropes.
That was a cool spot.
Yeah, I have to agree.
But yeah,
And
so great match.
I agree.
A little soft on the landing.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I think that they honestly chose the right team for the win because Inner Circle's been around for 2 years. Pinnacle, they're new. They needed the win.
Yeah. It pushes them forward. It was a good way of like pushing MJF and his faction forward. I was like, they needed that. That was good. I support that.
I agree. The only thing that I would have done differently is how they got beat up by Pinnacle when Pinnacle came out. Then they were gone for over like a week or two. And then 2 weeks ago came back. And I feel like after this match, Inner Circle should be gone for at least a couple weeks. I mean, Jericho gone longer, obviously, because of the pillow concussion. But so other ones should. I mean, they really need to sell. Like realistically, this next episode, nobody should be on there except for maybe MJF doing a cocky interview. But they really should drive home how serious of a match it is supposed to be, and Inner Circle should not be on there. Like it should be staggered. Like bring back Santana Ortiz, bring back Sammy, and then eventually Jericho doing whatever he's going to be doing.
Exactly. I completely agree with that statement. Like let them be off the show for a little bit. You guys play it up?
What would you guys do with Inner Circle after this?
It's tough to say because it really depends on where all these working relationships are going, because while there are groups and stuff, without Hangman being in Dark Order, there's no like distinctive like main guy for them to go after unless it's 10. So like to match Jericho's level. but 10's not Jericho, The Elite is crumbling kind of, because I mean, from what I've read reports on, it looks like Cody and the Elite are not even cool right now, because Cody hasn't even been on being the Elite, so
Mhm.
knows what's really going on there. I don't even know what other stables they have that can take them out, right, or go head to head with them right now.
Yeah.
Maybe Chaos Project.
That would be good. Dr. Luther and Jericho do have a history.
That's true. All right. So last week we discussed the homework assignment of being your favorite triple threat. Now it could be a tag triple threat, basically a broad spectrum of triple threat matches. So what did you guys come up with?
I guess I will start here because who knows what Derek has. But so for me personally, I would have to go with so there's like 2 or 3 that I have in my head. But for me personally, I'm gonna go with Kurt Angle, Triple H, and Rock at SummerSlam 2000. And the reason why is because I really enjoyed the storyline going into it, how the feud was really focused on Kurt Angle and Triple H and Stephanie, and Rock was just kind of there. The match itself was amazing, but because it also showed Kurt Angle, like, for the first time, I feel like that's the first time you see Kurt Angle look like kind of like a killer. Like he was kind of like actually trying to like fight. He didn't look like a dork. Well, it's like he comes off as a dork with the whole milk and American hero, but that's one of the first time you see him like trying to like essentially fuck shit up. Pardon my language. But and also at the same time with Triple H, it's the first time I feel like Triple H is really good at being a heel, but this time you kind of empathize with Triple H and you're like, oh, he's kind of a face, but he really didn't change. It's just that Kurt Angle was such a scumbag during that storyline, you empathize with Triple H. So it kind of made Triple H a face. I just really enjoyed that whole thing because he was still the same, but like it took like heel heat off of him, if that makes sense. That was the first time you've seen Triple H in that kind of role as well. Like trying to defend Stephanie and keep her away from Kurt. And I just thought that was really cool. I just personally enjoyed that storyline. And an honorable mention, because I am just such a Hardy Boys fan, obviously, Edge, Jeff Hardy, Triple H for Jeff Hardy's first title run. I think that was Armageddon 2008. It might have been 2009. I don't remember.
I think
but
Jay and I were there. Oh, no, that was No Way Out we went to.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say Armageddon was here?
That would be Armageddon.
But yeah, that's an honorable mention just because that's Jeff Hardy's first title win and how he strives so hard to try and get to that point. And it took him so long. It took him a very long time, honestly. But I enjoyed that match as well. And plus, Edge and Jeff Hardy in the ring are just gold since the beginning.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
True.
Like, they have 10 years of history at that point. And it was just seeing them both in the main event finally with Triple H. I'm like, wow, to think you guys were in like tag teams and like lower card. And now you guys are at the main event. That's really cool. Like, so that's just me.
Also, ironically, Jeff Hardy won his first Intercontinental title from Triple H and his first world title from Triple H.
That's
cool fact.
Yeah.
Maybe next he'll win the COO from Triple H.
Oh,
there we go.
I mean, reach for the stars, man. Anything can happen. We'll see it in another 10 years, guys.
I went with another Triple H match because Triple H, let's be honest, he has a lot of great triple threat matches. So this one was in a Triple H versus the Great Khali versus Vladimir Kozlov, which was just a just amazing match. Went over an hour and a half. Ended up in a triple disqualification. No, okay, that's not what I picked. I picked that my actual pick was Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Chris Benoit.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to I almost went with the Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle match because that was really cool about the whole European Intercontinental title. But this one with Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Chris Benoit, that was one that I really had no idea who was going to end up winning, because it really could have gone any direction. I didn't know if like Shawn Michaels they were going to give it to him again, because when he came back, he had that one small run and then never had a championship after that, which I wish that he would have had one more little run because he came back better than once he got his footing back, once he ditched the ugly brown tights that he came back with in the Elimination Chamber.
That was terrible.
It was so bad. Like I don't like that. Almost makes me just think that he really had no idea that he was going to be cleared, and they were like, "What can we do?" And they're like, "We can give you like an old Triple H, like almost like his." When he was getting away from the Hunter Hearst Helmsley gimmick and it just had the 3 H's over there. It was so bad. But at that point, he was back to the Shawn Michaels with the lots of, cool gear. And it was just a really cool match. And it delivered all around to me. And so that was what my pick was.
So, quick question for you, Jay, before we move to Derek. You said it was Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Benoit?
Yes.
And which one? Because wasn't there one at Backlash and then one at Mania? Was there 2?
It was the one that I'm talking about is Mania. But I believe they did the next month. They did have a rematch that.
There we go. Okay.
But good memory because I did not remember about the fact that they did have another match or a rematch, which is cool.
I think I only remember that because I like blended the both, and I'm like, wait, the sets were different. I'm like blending both matches, like, wait, but I'm remembering 2 different sets. I was like, did he do it twice? I'm like, okay, but go ahead.
Okay, so I messed up, and I definitely thought that tag matches were included. So I'm just going to use that as
they
my
are.
honorable mention.
Tag matches are absolutely included. It was just any triple threat.
So. Okay, then I have 2. From PWG, Nice Boys Don't Play Rock and Roll.
Okay.
It was the Young Bucks, the Lucha Bros, and Ricochet and Matt Sydal.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Ooh.
I bet you there was at least one super kick and one flip in that match.
There's one super kick, and then they went for a second, but it was blocked.
Oh.
But it was really good because it took place 2017. It's kind of like almost the birth of AEW. Like, I mean, everyone except Ricochet, which please Ricochet go to AEW.
For real.
Like it really did show. It gave each person a chance to really shine. It didn't feel like a normal Young Bucks match. Didn't feel like a normal Lucha Bros match. It was just really good. It was just the whole time. But if I went with my normal, just basic triple threat match, my number 1 is the best match in Impact Wrestling history. Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, and Christopher Daniels.
And who are they?
Well, AJ Styles, he's just a country boy. You don't want none. You don't want none.
That's true.
Samoa Joe will show up in AEW. I believe his name will be Joey Samoa. And Christopher Daniels, you may know him. He used to wrestle in All Japan Pro Wrestling as a guy named Curryman.
Oh yeah,
but
he's also one of the conquistadors.
That's true. But that match is the only 5-star rated match from Meltzer that is a triple threat match, and that is from TNA/Impact. That match, honestly, every time I think of Impact Wrestling, first match that comes to my mind. without even a second thought.
That is probably one of the best triple threats, man. I can't argue that at all, because that I felt is now at least the backbone to any triple threat now, because that really did have, I mean, that put all of those guys to the forefront of TNA. I mean, AJ Styles was already obviously, I mean, because it was for the X division, I believe, right? And
Yeah, it was for the X Division title, and at that point, AJ was a 2-time NWA champion.
Mm.
But I remember that, like, that is where people, it was like, who cares about the world champ at that point? Because how are you going to follow that?
Yeah.
And that was a very good pick.
Thank you.
Good choice.
So before we started recording, we started talking about Berzerker. Now,
Yeah.
Derek, did you find out if he had ever made an appearance at a WrestleMania?
Yes. So actually, thanks to our friends at What Culture, they have a list of 10 WrestleMania matches that were canceled. And literally the very first one was British Bulldog versus Berzerker at WrestleMania 8, BIII.
That's 8. You got it,
And
man.
it was going to be a 1-minute match, and British Bulldog said, "I don't do 1-minute matches." So they pulled the match, and then they said, "Okay, we're going to have Owen Hart do it," but then they didn't know who to put him with, So Skinner goes, "I'll do it." So Skinner got a WrestleMania payday because British Bulldog didn't want to do a 1-minute match.
Oh,
No way.
That is the closest Berzerker has ever gotten to WrestleMania that I could find.
He did, though, in 92. He did win a 40-man battle royal on Primetime Wrestling, and then got to challenge Bret Hart for the WWF championship that November.
Did he win?
Oh.
He did not win he did not win that one. He did do another battle royal in 93, and that was the last we heard of the Huss. And then he went on to All Japan.
Did he win the title there?
No, he did form a tag team with Stan Hansen. And
that's someone that I would definitely want on my side.
Yeah.
So,
and then he went to WCW in 97, 98. Then had a long winning streak until he lost to Goldberg.
Oh.
And yeah, so he then he got really active in the court system, and was sued a couple times, arrested a couple times. He hasn't won really anything in the court system either, so he's also a jobber for the court system.
That's rough. Poor thing.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I did find out something interesting about Stan Hansen over the last week that both surprises me and doesn't surprise me. So we all know Stan Hansen's known for basically hitting someone's head off their body.
Yes.
The reason why is because he's blind.
Wait.
So, he can't see very well, so he just made sure that it always looked good.
Oh my gosh. I don't know where I read that somewhere or someone retweeted. I don't even remember. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't even remember where I read that, or maybe someone told me. I don't remember. Okay, go ahead.
But it makes me feel better and worse about Stan Hansen, because like at least he kept the integrity, but like he probably shouldn't have been doing something that needs depth perception.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And also, I don't know if you guys heard this, but when he was the AWA champion, they wanted him to lose the title. So he threw it on the ground in the street and then drove over it a bunch of times and then sent it back.
Oh, bad.
Sounds like a peaceful guy.
Yeah, he seems like want to have a drink with him.
Well, as long as he has his glasses on, he's good.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah, I'm looking up a picture of him right now. He looks like a very he looks like a very nice guy. So real quick, what do you was there anything else that happened in the wrestling this week that you guys enjoyed?
Um,
go ahead.
oh, I watched Lost Treasures, the show that I should have
Oh Lord.
made money on. But they covered Jerry Lawler. And it was cool because they had to track down Andy Kaufman's neck brace. And they found it with Bill Apter, pro wrestling journalist. And so that was super cool. They also got a pair of boots that Jerry wore during some of his matches with Kaufman. And they got the blue robe and crown that he wore in his debut.
No way.
And they also showed, because I don't know if you remember, but when Brett won King of the Ring, he had a purple and pinkish robe, but an orange crown.
Yeah.
Remember that?
It's because the crown was King's, and he knew he was going to destroy it. So.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was really good. And then I believe it was the Piper biography, which was really good.
Yeah.
Sad, but really good.
Oh, tonight's is Booker T's, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, I thought Booker T's was last. Like you said that, I was like, I thought Piper's were tonight, and I was like, wait, I think I reversed them.
Yeah, and then it's Booker tonight for Treasures and biography.
Okay.
Also, there was Dark Side of the Ring, episodes 1 and 2, kind of covered Brian Pillman. Really good, really sad, but really good.
Checking that out.
Just Pillman's still just as awesome as he ever was, and I'm just glad Brian Pillman Jr. is carrying on the legacy.
Cool. I did catch NXT, and both opening and the closing matches were awesome. The Swerve versus Ruff, Leon Ruff, and a Falls Count Anywhere. They did some crazy ass shit that it was just a great match. And then now, obviously, Swerve getting his own entourage, which is really cool.
Which has AJ from WWE Treasures.
Exactly. That was cool.
But in that match, didn't Swerve try to throw a toolbox at Rush's head?
I believe I didn't catch that part, but I did see. I'm sure that probably happened because there was a lot of stuff happening in that match. I thought it was they did one where he basically did the reverse Hurricanrana off the side of the apron, which was nuts. But it landed like it was scary, and then when he landed, I was like, oh, that was cool. I still love what they're doing. The Austin Theory stuff that they've been doing with Scarlett and Karrion Kross was awesome. When he looked over at her and told her, "Are those real?" and made him look like he was talking about her breasts, and then it turns out he's just talking about her fingernails. And it was just they've made a good job of, because I remember when Austin Theory first debuted and they moved him really quick onto Raw, and I was like, I don't care about this guy. Like, he has zero, there's no personality to him. He's just like, he was good in the ring, but there was nothing to him. And at the end of the day, you can be as good as you want, but if you have no personality, then it don't matter. And
personality and charisma, man.
Yeah. And they're doing a great job with him. And he has a total character. I mean, it's a dumb character, but it's awesome. And then But then the last match was for the street fight for the women's NXT tag titles, and that was awesome. I thought it was too soon for Ember Moon and Shotzi to lose the titles, but if you make that division competitive, I have no problem of the titles being moved around if they're, because that's like their third defense already. And I thought it was cool. It was nice to see some gold around Candice LeRae's waist, because she should have, in my opinion, have already been a women's champion. But I mean, she seems to be pretty happy with how things are going.
Yeah.
The NXT Women's Tag Championships have been around for 2 months, and I've already had 3 different champions.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's been like I said, it's fast. Oh, also on the subject of tag champs, Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa are probably my favorite tag team, besides RK Bro, because RK Bro is so cool. And I mean, it's basically an offshoot of basically Riddle and Dunn, which Riddle and Dunn was definitely better, but it's made me care about Randy Orton. He's been interesting, and the fact that Randy Orton is actually really stoked to be teaming with him is cool. Like, he did an interview where he said that he did not like Matt Riddle when he first met him, and now they get along really well. And he says that he reminds him of Kurt Angle, where it was somebody that could be goofy and then go in the ring
and be scary.
Yeah,
I love that.
So go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, the only thing I was gonna say is, like, you already touched on NXT being an amazing show. I completely agree with you. Just throwing this out there, I'm really just loving Bailey's heel work on SmackDown.
Oh yeah.
Like the tattered Karen hair, her just laughing and being obnoxious. Like, I am loving Bailey as a heel so much. It's just fun. I don't know.
Which I never would have thought. I never, like, when like thinking of Bailey, I would have been like her, like hugging and all that stuff. I would have been like, never would have thought about her being such an amazing heel. Like,
yeah, she is taking this and running with it, and I am in love with it. And I was like, I really hope she gets another title run as a heel. I really put her on Raw, let her run the things over there, like switch them or something, because I don't think she's gonna win against Bianca on Backlash. But we'll save that discussion for later. But yeah.
Well, we are running out of time, so does anybody have a topic for next week for our top section?
How about ladder matches?
Oh, okay.
I can mess with that.
Same.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, that concludes another episode, and next week we will be discussing ladder matches. And just for clarification, Derek, that could be tag ladder matches, triple threat ladder matches, however many people you'd like to put in that ladder match. I will even consider King, or what was the TNA King of the Mountain match as far as but I don't think any of us are going to pick that. So
no. Great concept, horrible execution.
Well, until next time, I'll see you guys next week.
Wait, and remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
Bye. Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
Have a good night.